I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof. If I'm going down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Order in the court.
Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
To this day.
Nino Brown Boxing, and I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So my man, Andy Ruiz, comes out and makes it, man. He says what he wants. That's all. He made it clear. It was Andy Ruiz was, I believe he was on like the PBC show with Abner Mares and Sean Porter, and they asked him, you know, where would you want the fight to happen? He said, ultimately, the place he would love for it to happen, the number one place, would be Mexico. Then he said second place would be Vegas, I believe. I know, basically America on the West Coast. And then the question came up about, well, they want the fight in the UK. Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua, they want this fight in the UK. And Andy Ruiz says, if they want me to go over to the UK, they got to pay me $50 million. And you know what, Andy Ruiz? You damn right. The irony of this situation is that is the same amount of money Anthony Joshua said that he wanted from Wilder to come over to the U.S., the money that he requested and the money that he turned down. I feel like this is the ultimate flex on the PBC side. See, when Anthony Joshua took it upon himself to say, this is how much I want to come over there, the PBC delivered. Now, Eddie Hearn, you know, with the $1 billion over the whatever amount of years from the zone, let's see if they can come up with the $50 million like Al Heyman and the PBC did. I'm really curious to see how these negotiations play out. Obviously, we don't know the details of the contract, but the fact that Andy Ruiz made a request of $50 million, to me, it's a big deal. Now, we'll see what happens when all of this. My whole thing is, I look at it as AJ lost, right? Obviously, this fight, the rematch will be bigger. Even though the odds maker are still having Andy Ruiz as the underdog, I mean, that's on them. But if the fight's going to be bigger, then it should have a bigger budget to pay the fighters. And AJ took the loss. AJ was knocked down 4 times and he quit. If I'm Eddie Hearn, now this is the only time where I feel that I will agree with Eddie Hearn's actions, because I already know if Eddie Hearn, he's not going to have that money taken out of his pocket, or if some of it's going to come out of his pocket, he's definitely going to try to minimize it. With that being said, Anthony Joshua, you're the one that got your ass beat. So the purse is going to increase. Let's take this money out of Anthony Joshua's pot as most as possible. Now, obviously, they can't do it too much, or Anthony Joshua would just say, fuck it, he don't want the rematch at all. But pay the man. However you got to get it, pay Andy Ruiz that $50 million. If you really want him to come over to the UK, I truly don't think it's going to make a difference. AJ is still AJ. AJ still's going to come in a fight, muscular, extremely heavy, lacking head movement. He's not going to have an answer for Andy Ruiz's fast hands, his counter punching, his ability to punch with AJ and get off 3 or 4 shots before AJ can get off 1. It's not going to change by November, December. Shit's not going to change. And that's just the physical aspect of it. Like, we truly don't know how this loss affects AJ mentally. Obviously, we have an idea, but we don't know how deep this shit truly runs. So I just look at it like, either way it goes. My first reaction video, I said Al Heyman should simply pay Andy Ruiz to take a year-long vacation. Wait for the rematch clause to expire, and then literally the first day possible for them to negotiate, or the first day possible for Andy Ruiz to fight, that's his next fight date. Then, or right now, Andy Ruiz said, pay me $50 million. They can fulfill that, or whatever happens. I mean, it's very entertaining to see Eddie Hearn in this position. You know, his back's against the wall. You know he's going to come out with an interview responding soon. He's going to say some bullshit, his devil talk. He's going to talk in circles and definitely try to flip the narrative. At this point in time, Eddie, it's nothing you can say about Andy Ruiz. You can't say he's been a tough negotiator. Your guy's not undefeated anymore. He's been knocked out. He was knocked down 4 times. You can't say anything. Like all the narrative that Eddie Hearn tried to use when it came to the Deontay Wilder negotiations or negotiations against anyone else, you lost. Anthony Joshua lost, and he didn't just lose because he was outboxed Tyson Fury style. He got his ass beat. He got his ass beat for 7 rounds, quit. Like Anthony Joshua quit. I remember the last knockdown that occurred in the 3rd round. It doesn't even, like the trajectory of Andy Ruiz's punch didn't even make sense of the way Anthony Joshua flew to the canvas. It's just like he took a dive just to stop the onslaught from Andy Ruiz. That awkward rolling dive towards the right that he took to the canvas in the end of the 3rd round, because I'm sure he knew the round was about to expire. And then in the 7th round, Joshua took a knee. He didn't get knocked on his ass like the first knockdown. Anthony Joshua took a knee. He got up on an 8 count, walked to the corner, and the ref told him this is not a break. Then Anthony Joshua proceeded to rest his arms against the ropes. Multiple seconds went by. He slightly stepped away from the ropes, and then he leaned against the ropes again, and the ref said, "Do you want to continue?" He said yes, and he stayed leaning against the ropes. Anthony Joshua must have thought he was in the UK, and maybe, just maybe, the benefit of going to the UK is if he's in that situation again when he has a 21-second count, he'll have an opportunity to take a timeout mid-fight. And I'm not talking about in between rounds. But maybe that's the only benefit of going into the UK. Honestly, don't know. But if they're willing to pay $50 million for a 21-second count, hey man, Andy Ruiz, he'll have a full training camp this time. I feel like his onslaught will be more aggressive, a lot more sharp. He'll definitely be a lot more prepared for AJ. I'm sure going into this fight, he had to take AJ's power into consideration, and he still does. But he's felt the power. He's gotten up from it, and he kept pushing, and he stopped AJ. So, hey man, this negotiation is going to be extremely entertaining. I know it's going to be a whole lot of talk about this $50 million request from Andy Ruiz. Hey, Eddie Hearn, let's see how deep your pockets are. Let's see if you can pull out Al Heyman and come with that $50 million bag. But until then, this is Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I'm out.